Jefferson County, 43952, Steubenville, Ohio.
7 years of hardship, seen enough.
Steubenville.
7 years of bullshit, observed enough. 7 years of melodrama, burned enough. Seen a lot of sloppy cats bite the dust. 7 years of hardship, seen enough.
Steubenville.
7 years of bullshit, observed enough. 7 years of melodrama, burned enough. Seen a lot of sloppy cats bite the dust. 7 years of hardship, seen enough.
Steubenville.
7 years of bullshit, observed enough. 7 years of melodrama, burned enough. Seen a lot of sloppy cats bite the dust. 7 years of hardship, seen enough.
Steubenville.
7 years of bullshit, observed enough. 7 years of melodrama, burned enough. Seen a lot of sloppy cats bite the dust.
The Black experience in America. You are invited in to comment and dialogue with us as we search for peace, knowledge, and wisdom in a world that seems to operate without it. What we ask of you is to subscribe to our channel and help us grow. Also, share its channel with your friends and family. Hitting the like buttons helps us with knowing what kind of content you like and what we can do better. Buckle up for a great show. Thank you, guys. We're back again here with Peace, Knowledge, and Wisdom, the show that looks at the Black experience here in the Ohio Valley, but also nationwide, and talk about some of the issues that we have here and some of the good things, some of the bad things, some of the issues. But whatever we need to talk about here on Peace, Knowledge, and Wisdom is what we do. But this is on the Mac TV platform. Again, I need all you guys to subscribe to Mac TV on YouTube. The YouTube channel has a lot of content on it. And we have a lot of content creators from Gregorian Watchman, which is Greg Roby, and all of his dynamic Bible teachings and discipleship teachings, along with the Mac and Jet show that we do. Be looking out for Chuck Lee, who's going to do a lot of his painting shows where he paints and creates music. That's going to be an interesting platform. And so, again, also with the Peace, Knowledge, and Wisdom, a lot of the interviews that I do, all of the interviews I do will be on the Mac TV network. So again, subscribe, like, share. We're on Facebook. We're also on Instagram. So please go to those platforms and check some of these things out. Soon we will start rolling out our reels. So we'll be taking snippets out of these interviews and some of the, if there's anything I say that's important, maybe we'll have some of those snippets and some of the things our guest says that we'll be putting out so that, give you a little teaser of what you should be tuning into. But today, a great interview that I can't wait to have with a young man who's seen a couple of our interviews on Peace, Knowledge, and Wisdom. He said, listen, I got something that I'd like to say, and I think it'll be good for some of the community. There's people that we need to talk to that may understand where I'm coming from. And I said, for sure, right on time, because there's a lot of issues out here that is everyday issues that we look over. And this gentleman is going to really give us an inside look at his struggle, his situation, and now some happy moments that we're going to be celebrating. And none other than Mr. Justen Worrels. How you doing, brother?
All right, good.
Good to see you. Thank you for getting in touch with me, saying you wanted to come on. I've been knowing you since you've been younger. I know your family well.
That's right.
So it's going to be an interesting talk. And you're going to guide us through some of the things that you've went through and give us maybe some solutions, some ideas, some opinions that I think would be good talking points for our community and for those out there that's watching. So tell us a little about yourself,
okay,
where you're from and all that, and let's go from there.
I'm from Steubenville, Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
Come from good stock. My mother, Faye Worrels, aunt Anna Worrels, Carla Worrels, Gail Worrels. Family real known around town.
Yes.
Good family.
Yes.
Grandfather, Peanut Brown.
Oh yeah.
Good man. Took good care of us. So I'm just wanting to touch on a few things, Coach.
Mm-hmm.
And I come from a single parent household.
Okay.
My mom, Faye Worrels, she worked her tail off.
Oh yeah, she's always been a worker.
As long as I can remember, she's provided. Mm-hmm. We were I say not poor,
right, but
kind of not middle class.
Right.
You know
right.
what I mean? Right in between.
Yeah.
So she gave me the things that I needed, mm-hmm, and some of the things I wanted.
Yes.
Also. And Mom did well Mom did well. And sorry, coach.
No.
I'm getting a little emotional.
As they say, give it to us real.
But yeah, Mom did well for me, and I just wanted to touch on a few things. Our community is struggling real bad, coach.
Right.
It's struggling real bad. And my story, went through school, 2 years at Steubenville, 2 years out Wintersville.
Great athlete.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
coach.
He's a good athlete. I remember.
Okay.
And again, that's one of those Steubenville things. You got to bring out that athletics when it's
Absolutely. We are known
like
for athletics.
That's right.
Absolutely. And in school, I had tons of friends.
Mhm.
Both sides. Through Steubenville and through Wintersville, tons of friends. And as kids,
Mhm.
we're all in a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Yeah.
A little bit of everything. And I found myself, wanting to be popular and like most kids do, and hang out with, the kids that were well known and things like that. And I found myself getting into things that wasn't, you shouldn't be doing.
Are you willing to say what some of those things are, or you don't need to?
Yeah.
Like
we were just experiencing with marijuana.
Okay, so drugs,
Yeah,
sex.
of course.
The reason I say that is that we have a habit of saying things, this, that, and the other, and it gives people a chance to assume, oh no, I'm talking about what I do.
Okay.
No, we're talking about
Okay.
what you do, what
Right.
we all have done,
Oh,
and what we all do. And let's say exactly what it is.
okay.
And the reason I just said that is because it could also have been something else. It could have been
Absolutely.
gang banging. It could have been
Absolutely.
guns. It could have been, you know what I mean? Because now there's so many things out there.
Okay.
But what you're saying is, as a young man, like anybody else, the drugs are out there. You're experimenting.
Yeah.
You're doing
Peer
these
pressure.
things. Peer pressure. Yes.
Yeah, peer pressure is tough.
You know what's funny about peer pressure is it's one of those things. You hear people say they said this.
Yeah.
That's like peer pressure. Like you're
course.
part of peer pressure.
Of course.
You probably was pressuring somebody a little younger than you,
Of
or
course.
somebody that was your age
Of course.
to do something with you.
Of course.
But you also
Of
was
course.
being a part of peer.
Yeah.
And so
Absolutely.
I just wanted to kind of
Absolutely.
say that so that we can be clear about what we're talking, so we can help whoever we can help.
Absolutely.
But go ahead. So you said as a kid you got into.
I was just getting into things, and of course I played sports like you said and all, and I had a little extra time to experiment with things. Being that all my mom did was work.
Correct.
So I found myself hanging out with the wrong crowd, smoking marijuana. That's how it all started. And they say, oh, marijuana is the gateway drug. And I kind of I'm on the fence with it. As you know, it's legal and
right.
some states, and it's a big deal. And
you're on the fence. Why? Why do you think on the fence? Why? To me, it's a no-brainer that it is. Now, I'm not. And when I say a gateway drug, I don't think there's only one gate.
Okay.
To other things, but to me, if you travel that road, it always leads to the other things there. The individual don't have to get involved in it, but it's definitely leads you to where you see other drugs.
Okay.
I believe. You tell me where I'm wrong.
Well, for me personally, that's where it all started. When I look back, that's where it all started with me. For the simple fact is because you're smoking, and then it becomes not good enough for me.
Yes.
Looking
for a better high or a different high or
exactly.
What about the part of this? If you know someone, let's just run down the gamut of drugs. Let's say crack, cocaine, heroin, pills, different types of pills, all the different type of drugs. What percentage of the people who end up either being addicted to those drugs or using those drugs regularly, what percentage of those people you think have never tried marijuana?
Very slim.
That's why I say marijuana is a gateway drug, because there's people who've done marijuana that's never done crack.
Right.
There's people who've done marijuana that's never done.
True.
That's why I say that marijuana is one of those drugs that it should be legalized, but because it's been not legalized, it's been in an area that's what you're saying. We describe it as doing bad things.
Right.
Now that it's legal, there'll be a group, probably generation that's now real young, that marijuana doesn't necessarily have to be a gateway.
Exactly.
because it will be accepted,
Exactly.
but it'll be accepted just like alcohol.
Right.
Not that it's good or bad. I'm not saying
Right.
that. What I'm saying
Right.
is that
Right.
it doesn't have to be in the sphere of the other drugs.
Right. Of course. Of
So
course.
let's get off of that. But
Okay.
you found yourself in the world we're in now,
Right.
and you started off, to so to speak, with marijuana.
Right. And then it became not good enough for me.
Right.
You know, I tried to sell it, you know, everything just to keep money in my pocket so I could get more of it. And then I found myself getting into pills.
Now, when you get into pills, when you first got into pills, do you have a understanding of how that happened? When you say you found yourself for a reason, for just
it wasn't
recreation?
It wasn't any reason. It was just having fun.
Part of a party type atmosphere.
My friends were doing it, so I'm like,
okay. So
hey,
they were doing it.
Yeah.
Did you ever have it offered to you and you refused it?
No, because
so when you start using it, you sought it. You looked for it because other people had talked about it.
The first time I was offered it, I used. So it was that simple. And my friends were doing it. I was seeing the effects of it and what it would do to people.
Right. What does it do? You want
to? It's more of a pain pills. So
and what does that do? It gives you a high.
It gives you a high. It gives you a high, and you feel good. I mean,
inhibition.
Yeah,
you're willing to do things. You feel more laid back.
Absolutely,
more just like somebody that gets drunk or
absolutely, just
high, so to speak.
More laid back. You know, good times. Social.
Right.
If you like to, it's just it's tons of things that it does for certain people. You know, pain, all types of things, and like I said, I found myself doing pills next, and you know, just to fit it. And when I look back, it was kind of to fit in, but I was also looking for a better high.
Okay, so filling in something.
Absolutely filling. When I look back, Coach Mac, again, a single parent household. Okay, it was just me and my mom. I was an only child.
Yes,
and I was just looking for that. Maybe that love from a man.
Yes. Or
that love from someone who wasn't around.
But you didn't know that then, did you?
No.
You didn't realize it then.
No, I didn't realize it then.
Because a lot of times what happens, we start talking about single parent homes. We do it in a bad way.
Right.
Because it can come off.
My mom did well.
I heard you say that clearly.
Yes.
I heard you say that clearly. But the reason it needs to be talked about in that way is because it happens so often.
Yeah.
That putting it off as not a reason for things doesn't help.
No, it doesn't.
And it's no shade,
right,
for lack of a better term, on the single parent that it is, whether it's a dad or a mom,
right,
or a grandparent.
Right.
It's no shade on that person. It's that if you had to draw it up,
okay,
is that what you would choose? Nobody says, I think the best way it should be is just a mom and 3 kids and no dad, no father figure, no uncle, no this.
Right.
Nobody would draw it up that way.
No, it just happens.
It just happens.
Right.
And so you do the best you can with you can.
Exactly.
However, it does become a reason. And in your situation, you're saying, it sounds like you're saying that you look back on it and realize
I look back on
that the drugs filled
that void for me.
It kind of filled for the or you was allowed to do that because there was not an extra other person. Your mom's working hard for you to give you the things you want. And that idle time that you have without her there. Because if she was in the house every day, all day, it would have never went down that way.
No, because she would have been, because she's that type of person.
Oh, for sure.
She wants to know what I'm doing, where I'm at, who I'm with at all times.
Yes.
So with that being said, is I started getting into that with friends of mine. In high school.
Yes.
I found myself starting from the bottom. And when I say the bottom is the lowest amount of pain pill.
Right.
Gradually graduating more and more. And before I know, I graduate. I'm on my own after I graduate. As soon as I graduate high school, I move out on my own.
Yes.
Down Lincoln Avenue apartments.
Right.
And that's where it all started.
By yourself?
By myself.
Did you have a job?
No.
Okay.
I didn't have a job. I was selling marijuana.
Right. So you had the money to rent it.
I wasn't renting. I was going through getting help through housing. And
Oh, okay.
I was getting help through housing.
Okay, like a Section 8 type of.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. And I found myself graduating, selling marijuana,
Mhm.
doing pills, and just hanging out with the wrong people
Yeah.
for more or less.
Mhm.
And
And let's not say the wrong people. You was hanging
Okay.
out with people that was doing similar things.
okay,
The only reason I want to say that is
Okay.
just to say that that gives us an out. That gives and I'm gonna say people like me an out.
okay,
Like, who's the wrong people? Like, I know
You're
who I
right.
think the wrong people
You're right.
are. However,
like-minded.
some of the wrong people may be my son, my daughter, my cousin,
Right.
my uncle,
Okay.
but I don't describe them as wrong people.
Okay.
And so you're not the wrong people, but you
Right.
would have been considered the wrong, right?
Exactly.
If my son was hanging with you and I said, stop hanging with the wrong people. Like, I know your mom, I know your family, y'all ain't wrong people.
Okay. Okay.
And I'm not, no,
I
and
get
I'm
it.
not telling you to not say that. I guess I'm asking you is, would that be a good? Because I don't know who the people are you're talking about.
Right. Right.
But if you tell me, I might say, oh, that's a good dude, or that's a good girl, or
right. Right.
yeah, it's a
Well,
shame they got hooked up.
Like-minded people. I would
Like-minded,
say
doing the same things. Yes,
doing the same things I was into.
Yeah.
So I no longer once I kept graduating, trying to fill a void that I didn't have. I no longer could get buzzed from it.
Oh, okay.
So, and all the pills were getting gelled up.
What's that mean?
That means what that means is it's a time release.
Okay.
They start putting a time release in them. Before, you could just, however you want to take them, you take them by mouth,
Right.
snort them,
Okay.
however you wanted to do it. Well, when they put a time release on it, it gels them up. You can't break them down. They don't break. They just harden up.
Was that done on purpose?
I believe so. Yeah.
You try to
for
curb
abusers.
is that
Try to
right?
curb
I
the
never knew
abusing.
that. I never knew that.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And so what did that lead to because of that?
And what that led to was me sorting out heroin.
I see.
Okay, because you could break it down, snort it, whatever you wanted to
Okay.
do. And that's what I was that's at first that's where I started. I started snorting heroin.
Mhm.
Okay. And that no longer filled the void for me. So, and then I began to inject heroin.
Okay, so there's a difference in the type of strength, so to speak, of the drug depending on how you use it.
Absolutely.
I see. Okay.
So I went.
And then how would you describe at that point that you started to do that? Was that what you would describe now as the lowest point?
Oh
type
yeah, that's
of
the
thing?
lowest of the lowest.
Before you got to that, intervention type things going
Nope.
on at all?
No, sir.
Were you just in spaces that it didn't matter how you presented yourself, or were you
Yes.
able to cover it up?
At first, I was able to cover it up. It wasn't any weight loss, or
Yeah.
I was still, or at least that's what I thought I could cover it up.
Right.
I'm sure people knew what I was into. This is
I
a small
see.
town.
Yeah.
Everybody talks. Everybody knows
Yeah.
everybody. And I come from a well-known family, and I know a lot of people.
Right.
Once again, so I was still interacting with some of the people who wasn't involved.
Yeah.
You know,
I
and
see.
the things that I was doing.
So, but you're assuming they probably felt that you might be.
Exactly.
Justin looks a little off, or he's talking a little different. Or,
Yep.
Is
And
that right?
Justin's he doesn't come out because
Did your what about your personality and stuff? Did it change during this time?
big time. I began not hanging with people, just in the house using.
Okay.
Um,
So is there a thing such as when you start using drug depression or something that sets in possibly? Or
absolutely.
Okay.
I was depressed a lot of times, all the time
is
actually.
that right?
Yeah. Just things wasn't going how I wanted them to go, or what I thought, what I should be headed after school.
Yes.
So I got depressed.
So you don't think that you said you're from a good family, you know a lot of people, because this is another thing we need to understand about how Steubenville is. And I because I did a lot of coaching,
Mhm.
it always comes through in the athletic part. Where did they go? Where did they go to school? How far did they go to school? And part of that hinders people, because if they didn't go where they think people thought they should have went or that they wanted to go,
Right.
they cover up, they lie,
Right.
they get into a space where they are accepted for wherever they were.
Right.
That's how we stay in that high school mode a lot.
Right.
Because I was the man in high school and I couldn't go no further. I'm gonna live with the area of the people who had no expectation and be the, in other words, I'm the big fish in the little pond now.
Exactly.
Because in that level. So guess the reason I was asking you that and why I'm trying to maybe pick at your story is just because I want people to understand how they can get caught up.
Right. It's very easy.
Because I never knew that you had any kind of substance abuse. Now I didn't see you a whole lot.
Because I didn't come
but
around.
Whenever
anyone.
I seen you, okay.
I didn't come.
But whenever I did see you, you were the same young man that I always thought. You know what I mean? You was always respectful. You know what I mean? You just was a good dude. And I would have always said, "Oh, that's Justen Worrels." Somebody said, "Oh yeah, Justin's bad on drugs." Somebody said, "No, I just seen you saying the thing. No, he's fine." And I just would have never thought that.
Right.
You know,
and you would never think that because of where I come from and the things that you knew my people instilled in me and things like that. But you know, it's just that simple. I understand now. I understand when people say a mind is a terrible thing to waste, and about decision making.
Yes,
it only takes a second, and you could be into the wrong things, and that's what it was for me. It was that second where I was offered. I was offered it.
Yeah,
and just that quick by making one quick decision.
Your cousin, I just thought about that. Your cousin, Quentin. Rest in peace, Quentin, and Anna. Of course, you mentioned Anna. Rest in peace. Good people.
Absolutely.
Good dudes. And I don't want to get into what happened with Quentin as much as I want to get into him and Gary were best friends, weren't they?
Absolutely.
And that's your first cousin.
Absolutely.
So you were friends with both of them.
Yes.
Him dying, being killed, him. How did that affect you in a way
that affected me a lot?
And not necessarily you personally. I know it probably did emotionally and things like that. But do you think it also affected your trajectory and where you went in life?
Yeah, because we were like brothers.
Yeah, and I don't think he would have been in that same type of.
No,
he'd have been with Gary a lot more type of thing. And I'm not saying Gary's better than anything,
right?
But I'm just saying is his trajectory is a little different, in life,
right?
And those when you talked about a decision or something that happens, consequences of that young man. You know, his situation, you know, always had a smile on his face, you know, always described as a good dude, that type of thing. This can be a situation that indirectly it also affected.
Absolutely. And so once again, I want to get it out there to young kids, older adults. It really doesn't matter. You need to, when somebody asks you, well, hey, do you want this or you want to smoke this?
Right.
Take a step back for a second.
Right.
Don't just say, oh, well, I'll try it, or you know, whatever the case may be. Just take a step back.
How would you do it?
How would I do it now, or how?
Yes. What would you think in those? As you said, you found yourself in a place. You didn't seek it, but you found yourself in a place. Is it just as easy as we just had a gentleman on here named Ken, and he talked about saying things like, no, my thought pattern is this. I don't deal with that, or I don't do that. It's always not that easy. Right. But what's some? Let me just give you an example. When I was in school, I didn't drink at all in school or smoke. I never smoked marijuana or nothing like that. But part of the reason, me and a buddy of mine, you know, Mr. Mayo, we've been friends and stuff growing up. We would always use the excuse of being an athlete, and I don't do that. I'm an athlete. You know what I mean? Really, that was our way to deflect peer pressure.
Right.
And we turned it around on the person offering.
Okay.
To make them feel like, one, I'm not going to ask him anymore because he made me feel like, because you might have offered me and you might say, well, I'm an athlete too.
Right.
But what I just told you is if you drink, if you're doing that, you ain't the type of athlete I am.
Right.
What's some ways to tell that you said young kids or people, what's a way to get out of that? Are you immediately like shunned if you say no?
You're not shunned, but to the cool crowd that's doing that, you're not cool, or you're not allowed to hang around or things like that.
Yeah, because if these drugs make me get out of pocket, I don't need you not being out of pocket, judging my out of pocketness.
Exactly.
So we need to all be doing this, so we all equally as
messed up and not doing the right thing, I should say. And just people need to just take a step back and just think. You know, you use your mind, because it could all just go downhill so fast. And that's how it went for me. It just, 1 minute, everything was going good. I was on top of everything. And before I knew it, my life just spiraled down. And before I knew it, it was out of control.
How long of a period would you say your life was out of control, under the influence, being under that influence of being that addiction?
I believe I started using around 19, 20.
Right.
And I'm 36 now. So I was using for about 14 years.
So you're using 14 years, but let's say the first 5 years, you was probably covering it up. You were still functional to some extent.
Functioning at it.
Okay.
You know,
when did you become your bottom, as they say? When did you hit rock bottom? I assume it was that made you start to try to.
Right. Once I graduated to like the harder drugs.
How long did it take for you to graduate to that? 5 years, 2 years, 1 year?
Quick.
Quick.
Quick. It was just like marijuana, pills, heroin.
So how long have you used heroin?
From the time I was, I say 25 to 30, 25 to 34.
So for a while.
For a good while, for a long while.
So you've been clean.
I've been clean 2 years.
So I assume you feel obviously thankful.
Very thankful.
Lucky. And I say lucky because when I was in the sheriff's office from that time, and I've been out of it for 10 years, been a whole lot of overdoses and things of that nature.
Yes.
That's what I mean by lucky, that you didn't lose your life.
And I did overdose.
Oh, okay.
Towards the end of my drug use.
I see.
Okay. So I had been using, you know, nothing happened by the grace of God.
Right.
And towards the end of my drug use is when I had overdosed. And I was found in a yard, just laying in a yard. The ambulance found me. Someone must have called the ambulance. Right. And I woke up in the hospital.
Is that right?
Yes. And I had been injecting heroin in my leg.
Okay.
And that's how I was using, because my veins, I had tore all my veins up. And absolutely, I had tore all my veins up and was injecting in my leg. And one day I woke up and was trying to use. I was sick, because it makes you sick.
Yeah. Yes.
You need it. You'll do
so that you're not sick.
Right. So you're not.
Sometimes it's not even about the high. It's about not being sick.
Right. So I found myself going to a guy's house trying to get my fix.
Yeah.
And I didn't think they were my friends at the time, but they were my friends, because what had happened was, through the grace of God, they had locked me in the house because I was walking around limping from injecting. My leg was swollen from injecting. I had an infection in my leg.
Yeah.
And I was walking around limping. My leg was, if you've seen it, you wouldn't even thought I could.
And you're not even caring.
I'm not caring because I'm so oblivious from the drug use.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to get my fix. Everybody and not caring what anybody else thinks of me either at this time, towards the end or towards any time I'm using.
Let me stop you, because we got a hard stop.
Okay.
Let's go to the end.
Okay.
And then come back, because I want to ask you some questions about the drug use.
Okay.
You had some great news not too long ago. What was that?
Yes. Currently, I just had twins.
Congratulations.
Fraternal twins.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So you're a dad now.
Yes.
And so you cleaned up just in time.
Just in time.
Just in time. Are you married or?
We're engaged.
So you're engaged. Congratulations on that.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
How long have you known, or how long has it been since you and your fiance been together?
We've been together 2 years.
2 years.
Yes, sir.
So you found her once you got clean.
Yes, I found her through recovery, going to meetings.
Okay, good
Yes,
deal.
sir.
So she's in a similar situation where she's.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you guys are both clean now, and she's doing this.
Yeah.
And you wanted to talk to me to specifically say what to our audience and some of the kids and stuff, because we talked about that. Talk about what you want to say, and get a little bit into what you said you'd like to see done. You mentioned something about schools.
Yeah. Well, what I wanted to say, Coach Mac, was just be aware. You know, children, kids, adults, just be aware. There's you'll be peer pressured.
Mhm.
There's things going on out here that obviously you can't control.
Mhm.
But when it comes in your bubble,
Yes.
when you're being peer pressured to hang out with the cool crowd or the cool adults or anything of that nature, take a step back. Whether you've seen it before,
Mhm.
whether you haven't heard of it before, that's just take a step back, say no.
Yes.
This isn't for me.
Thank you.
Okay. And
And
what
how
I-
do we do that? What's one of the ways you said something about you would like to see yourself or people or some program where you would go into the schools and do what kind of? Do you have anything mapped out?
sort of like how when you're a kid, the dare comes to school.
Yes.
Okay. And speak maybe a different language to the kids nowadays, because some kids don't understand the language coming from a cop
Yeah. Or somebody
Or-
old like me.
or older person.
Yeah.
Maybe just speak a different language to the kids and just let them know that you are cool.
Right.
You can do the things you set out to do in life.
Mhm.
You don't have to use drugs.
Correct.
You can be the businessman you want to be. You can go to college.
Mhm.
You can be positive.
What makes you say that they can? And I say that to say, are you saying that from experience or are you saying that from looking back? Meaning, when you were that age, did you think you couldn't be anything or that you were, that,
I didn't
or
see-
you just see that now looking back and you look at kids nowadays and or situations?
Well, this area, the way this area is set up and the way the area looks, I didn't believe it because it was so small.
Yes.
I didn't believe that I had dreams of going to a big school, but I didn't believe it because maybe I wasn't the best guy in sports or maybe I didn't get the best grades.
And if I had came to you when you were 19, 20, 21 or what have you, well, let's say right before you got into drugs or right when you started, even marijuana would be fine. That'd be no big deal. I mean, you would need to not do it.
Right, of course.
But my thing would be, and I'd have said, hey, Justin, I think you'd be a good idea. You should go, they're going to be given a test to be a cop.
Okay.
Maybe if you go up to the EGC and go through that training,
Right.
be a cop. Do you
Right.
think you would have said yes or no? Or
I probably would have said no, just because of
being a cop.
exactly.
Yeah. Because again, things like that is what our community is missing.
Right.
But it got to the point where things like that. What about a fireman?
I probably would have said no.
Because
But-
it's not the cool thing to do.
Right.
But
But I want to let them know it is okay to be a
it is the
cop.
cool thing to do. If you have that opportunity, you should do that.
You should
Stop getting involved in things.
Exactly.
Keeping your and the reason I said that is also we have a lot of people, a lot of youth coming out of school. Like I believe there's scholars,
Yeah,
and then there's everybody else.
right.
When I think there should be scholars, many scholars,
It's
many scholars,
like the separation.
all the way down to all of them can still go to school.
Yeah.
Right now it's like
You should-
only if you're a
you can
scholar
start
you go to
off.
school.
You can start off at
Yeah, you can go
scholar.
to EGCC, you can go to San Francisco, you can
Yeah.
be somewhere, and you can go to JVS. If the kids going to JVS,
Right.
When the gentleman was talking to me about, there's a guy from Steubenville got his own business in Columbus.
Okay.
That same business got started here.
Exactly.
Maybe you get into those things and start your own business.
Right.
We have to have opportunity, and it sounds like what you're saying is that's one of the ways that you want to tell kids there are other opportunities than considering yourself cool because you're into the drug game or
Exactly.
drug or using.
Exactly. Because that's around Steubenville. If you ain't selling drugs,
Right.
you're not cool. After high school,
If you're not selling them,
if you're not selling, let
if
alone
you didn't go
let-
somewhere else and you're here, you probably should be selling or using.
That's one of the two options I felt
Mm-hmm.
when I graduated. That's all
That's
I
what
had.
it was. Yeah.
That's what it was because of what I seen around here. Because
Correct.
that's all that's going on.
Yeah, I think
You
that's so. I'm glad you told your truth, because I think that's a lot. It's hard to explain that in the things that places that I've been in, the things I do. I'm in NAACP, as you've always known, and but even more than that, when I started the 501c3, It's about getting our youth better options, better choices. But the NAACP comes in because our black kids don't really have the same amount of choices and opportunities.
I didn't.
And so we try to fight for those opportunities, but it's almost like you fight for the opportunities and then you get the opportunities, but there's nobody there to qualify.
Exactly.
And when I say qualified, I don't mean the ability to be. Their circumstances don't qualify them, meaning like yourself. Your situation was you in the middle of peer pressure. You already have a hopelessness thought.
Yep.
You come from a single parent home.
Yep.
So there's not a lot of dreams that a male has put in you.
Nope.
And people that you can role model for you,
right,
and guide you through that.
Right.
It's important that we start to understand those type of just basic things, that the opportunities,
very important.
Yeah, they need to be there. They need to be clear.
Yeah.
They need to be possible. Right. They don't need to just be pie in the sky. Oh, go be a doctor. Oh, right, you should go to school, graduate, and get your degree and go get
right,
a job. That's so general.
Right.
There's so many things that happen in between that.
Right.
That people don't understand. So I wanted to get you to say those things because it's important, and I'm going to ask you to come back at some point,
okay, and
we get into some of these things deeper. But right now, I want to get into this. I want to know, you talked about the different levels of the drugs that you've used and how long you use drugs. The availability of drugs, is it that easy?
Yes, very, very easy. Again,
it's just, I mean, I don't know how to ask the question because I'm naive in this. I don't ever been in that.
Of course.
But let me ask you this. Is there 100 people selling drugs in Steubenville?
Probably more.
Which means if there's 200 people in selling drugs in Steubenville, how many people making a whole lot of money off of selling drugs in Steubenville?
You'd be surprised.
Be surprised that it's not a lot or that it's a lot?
That it's a lot because it's so small. You wouldn't think. But
and I guess I'm thinking
this is where everyone comes to bring their stuff. You know, it's no secret. This Steubenville is so small, but it's a gold mine.
Is that right?
It's a gold mine
because so many people use.
And it's West Virginia's right 5 minutes.
Right.
You got Steubenville, Mingo,
right,
Smithfield.
So it's almost like if you had the 100% of people that's using drugs, we'd probably be surprised that Steubenville is only 20% of it. Exactly. It just so happens that the other places keep their certain people out of their areas.
Right.
Let Steubenville be the place where it's at. Go in and get it and come out of that.
This is where everyone comes. Man. This is where everyone comes. And like I said, I went to Steubenville 2 years, Wintersville 2 years. This is where I was still coming to get my fix. You know, this is where when I was using, this is where everyone came to get their fix, you know, and
so then it's a daunting task to stay away from it.
It's tough. It's tough. It's very tough. And we need to have more situations where we can let people know and just be more aware because you look over your shoulder, it's there. Look around the corner, it's there. So
you've been clean.
Yes.
I assume you are. I don't know what term you would use, but I'm going to say I assume you're proud that you was able to pull yourself out.
Very proud.
And to me, you're blessed that you were able to clean yourself up before you bought kids into this.
Before I bought kids into
so they could get the best of you.
Absolutely.
And you having a chance to be their father and make sure they don't come from a single parent home.
Breaking generational curses.
And that's on your mind.
Heavy.
That's a good thing. That's really a good thing. That's called learning. That's called being productive.
Yes.
I appreciate you telling your story. I think it's brave to do that. I think it's you're sacrificing a lot to expose yourself.
Oh, cool.
Because there's that not wanting to expose yourself some of the times is you end up being recluse and being in something that you could get out of because you don't want nobody to know that you're involved in it. Whereas now we can challenge you. People can challenge you. You're doing this, not like you're a kid.
Right.
But challenge you as a man. You being a man, you know, you're doing this, you need any help.
Right.
What's going on? How is life treating you?
Right.
We need to do more of that as a community. Help people, talk to people, each other. I'm gonna tell you this, and I've been talking with a guy. I would like to start a men's club.
We need one.
I'd like to start a men's club,
We
and
need
I'd like to have us draw up a contract for a men's club that you sign that, and you become accountable to that club,
You held
and
accountable.
that club is accountable to the community.
Yeah.
And we need, and then what we do in that men's club, the only thing they're there to do, specifically our goal, is at the end of every single year, provide for our community in some way.
Okay.
Either provide for single moms,
Yes.
provide for programs that are doing good, businesses that are doing good,
Right.
help things like that. But in the meantime, be able to associate with people who have
Okay.
that like-minded, like you said.
Right.
You got into a situation where like-minded people were doing the wrong things,
Right.
and there you became that. Let's have a lot more like-minded minds get together for positive things
Yes, sir.
and kind of be accountable to each other. Would you be interested in joining that?
Absolutely.
I'm gonna write your name down.
Please do.
I'm gonna call you and I hold you accountable to that when we get together, when all of us get together. Maybe you can start helping me head it up.
I sure
Because the
will.
thing with me is that a lot of times what happens is I find myself being in charge of things and it becomes the same old.
Right.
I'm tired of that. I want to
Okay.
just belong to somebody else doing something positive.
Okay.
So it'd be nice to pass that thought
Okay.
over to you
Yes, sir.
and be in the background helping that get facilitated, but
Okay.
also given to it to help us
Okay.
and become mentors in a different way, not a program of mentors, just be a mentor
Yes,
or
sir.
role models and idols and things of that nature. So just anything else you want to tell us specifically right now until the next time you come on?
No, sir.
You good?
I'm good.
I appreciate you. Again, you guys subscribe to Mac TV, get into the Peace, Knowledge, and Wisdom program and see some of these interviews and in-depth interviews. Again, no matter when you see it, write a comment, inbox me, inbox the show, inbox Mac TV, inbox Peace, Knowledge, and Wisdom. Also, we have Mac and Jet Show, obviously, which is where we started with the Mac and Jet Show. Inbox them, the Mac and Jet Show. But subscribe to Mac TV. Again, subscribe, share, and like. This is a platform where we're going to do a lot of these things on Mac TV, and we want our community to be aware of it. So if Just doesn't have anything else, we're going to say peace to you, and we are out.
Peace.
Jefferson County, 43952, Steubenville, Ohio.
7 years of hardship, seen enough. 7
Steubenville,
years of bullshit, observed enough. 7 years of melodrama, burned enough. Seen a lot of sloppy cats bite the dust. 7 years of hardship, seen enough. 7 years
Steubenville,
of bullshit, observed enough. 7 years of melodrama, burned enough. Seen a lot of sloppy cats bite the dust. 7 years of hardship, seen enough. 7
Steubenville,
years of bullshit, observed enough. 7 years of melodrama, burned enough. Seen a lot of sloppy cats bite the dust. 7 years of hardship, seen enough. 7 years
Steubenville,
of bullshit, observed enough. 7 years of melodrama, burned enough. Seen a lot of sloppy cats